No, you're not doing it.
I actually don't believe in birth control.
No? You're just doing it the Catholic way, just like whatever
My
happens?
husband's so Catholic, like beyond. He's the
But then you
Catholic.
could have 12 kids.
I know. It's dangerous.
Of course it is.
It's completely dangerous.
And stupid.
I'm on your side.
Well, what are you going to do? Trick them and take birth control?
You know, it's just, I don't know, Catholics, they have a lot of kids. This is just,
Yes.
I didn't choose this life.
That
This
was
life
a
chose-
thing when I was a kid. Really.
George Farmer's influence on Candace Owens' rhetoric. Candace Owens is one of the most polarizing figures in American conservatism. From her early days as a fiery, confrontational commentator on U.S. politics to her more recent shift towards global conservatism and Catholic traditionalism, her rhetoric has not stood still. While part of this change can be contributed to her natural evolution as a public figure, another important influence comes from her husband, George Farmer, a British conservative with deep ties to politics, religion, and traditional networks. In this video, we will look at Candace Owens' rhetoric before and after her marriage to George Farmer, her evolution and evolving relationship with the Catholic Church, and what these shifts might mean for her future as a conservative thought leader. Part 1. The shifting voice of Candace Owens before George Farmer. Before her marriage in 2019, Candace Owens had already built a reputation as a conservative firebrand. Star, she was provocative.
I do not live in a racist country. I do not hate white people or any group of people based off of the color of their skin for that matter. I do not live in fear every day.
Bold and often confrontational.
And that many of the journalists were confused as to why I was invited, and none of them knew that I myself was the victim of a hate crime when I was in high school. That's something that very few people know about me, because the media and the journalists and the left are not interested in telling the truth about me, because I don't fit the stereotype of what they like to see in black people. I'm a Democrat, I support the President of the United States, and I advocate for things that are actually affecting the black community. What I mean to say is that they're manipulating statistics.
Thriving on viral sound bites and social media showdowns.
All else, but at the same time, Candace, you tailor your message specifically to the black community, and TPU kind of taps into that to turn you into a weapon. So how can you...
a missile.
How can you kind of use the, tailor your message to a single community and kind of highlight the importance of that to them without kind of slipping into the identity politics that's, abhorrent on the left?
So here is where we find that people have identity politics is okay. I'm a black and I'm a woman. If I want to go have a party with a bunch of black women and talk about black hair care, we're not against that. That's identity. We all are different human beings. Identity politics is when I get into a room of black people and I say, because you are black, you therefore must do this. I don't do that. You have not heard me say one thing. I don't tell them what to vote for, who to like. I tell them to understand that because you are black, right, they are using your blackness to dictate how you should perform. I'm talking about identity politics and telling them they need to not ever do that or never accept that and to think as individuals. We have no problems with identity. We don't want an anarchist society. We're not saying that you can't be, have interests as a Spanish person and me. We're not saying that Jewish people can't meet and discuss what happened in the Holocaust. We have identity. Identity should be celebrated. It's okay to be different. The problem is when people tap into those differences and they weaponize it within the political spectrum. And I'm not doing that, but I appreciate you viewing me as a weapon. I don't think I'm a weapon whatsoever. But I just want to differentiate. Identity politics is different from identity. We have no issues with identity. You should celebrate your identity, and that should be okay. Don't let it be hacked by people that have more nefarious causes.
Focus. Her commentary was rooted almost entirely in American politics, media playbook. I said one of the tools that she uses is using herself as an example of everything she pushes out there.
The person sitting behind me is my 75-year-old grandfather. I've always considered myself to be my grandfather's child, and I mean to say that my sense of humor, my passion, and my work ethic all comes from the man that is sitting behind me. My grandfather grew up on a sharecropping farm in the segregated South. He grew up in an America where words like racism and white nationalism held real meaning under the Democrat Party's Jim Crow laws. My grandfather's first job was given to him at the age of 5 years old, and his job was to lay tobacco out to dry in an attic
That way, she doesn't stand as a figure of authority. She only stands as an example of what the system is doing to us. That way, you relate to her and you buy into her theory very vividly and fast. That is how she has been able to capture and hold the attention of the fans she has built over the years. Some have fallen off, of course, with the change of rhetoric and some things exposing her lies here and there, and a few things people have changed their minds about. Just like we said, evolution happens with every human. Maybe somebody was conservative before, or somebody was a Democrat before. Why she was a Democrat? And then she changed, stopped being a Democrat, and the person said, you know what, I can't be with you anymore. Or when she was not Catholic, someone was rocking with her, and when she became Catholic, they said, you know what, I think adios. So these are the things. Some people will fall off along the way, but others will carry on with her. Because as she evolves, some of her followers will evolve, some will fall off, and she will gain new ones. And that is how the cycle continues. Now, key examples pre-2019. Her early takedowns of identity politics make her a breakout star in conservative media. That is something that she had a showdown with, and it's been difficult for many people to erase that memory of her, which is why they hold still to every word she says. Even when they don't completely agree with what she says, they still find her exactly that enigmatic figure that they fell in love with during the identity politics showdown when she crushed everything. Another one, she often leaned into American individualism, arguing for personal responsibility against systemic explanations of inequality. Candace Owens is one of those people that, despite the fact that she had faced a racism or some problems in the past, she doesn't want to identify herself as a victim, nor she wants to take the system to be the reason why something will stop her. She believes that nothing in America can stop her, and there is no advantage that anybody of a different race has over her. So she has always preached that identity of individualism rather than putting the responsibility on the system and blaming it for every inequality you face. She believes always that you should take personal responsibility for what you have done and not put it on the system. And that is one thing that so many of her followers, both left, right, white, black, or any other race, fell in love with her for, because they said, yeah, I agree with you on this. And that is something I don't want to change. I don't want anything make me feel like I'm a victim of something. I want to take personal responsibility for myself. And that is one thing she was able to hold many of her fans with right up to date. They have not left her, even when she does the most top shit. Her style of combative and distinctive American centrist. There is, in her video about her media playbook, I really recommend you watch that video. That video will tell you a lot about Candace, and it makes you know exactly how she functions. That way, you enjoy the show without getting emotionally invested, because you will hurt yourself in the process. If you understand the show, you understand that, oh, this is just a movie, and you will not take it too symbolical in your life. She has this combative and distinctive American-centric way of arguments. She is very quick-witted, and she can argue a point and make even the smartest people in a room feel like they were dumb at the end of that point. And sometimes the audience don't know the difference. They don't care who gave the best points. All the audience is looking for is who looked amazing, who looked stronger, who looked confident, why that argument was ongoing. It doesn't matter who had better points, who had the truth, or who had the real facts on ground. At the end of the day, people want a show, and she has mastered the art of giving people a show. In short, pre-Farmer, Owens was a populist conservative who converted, of course, focused on US domestic debates and controversies. Now, let's look at part 2, George Farmer, the background check. Let's look a little bit of background. To understand the shift in Candace Owens' messaging, it is essential for us to look at George Farmer, and I've done several videos dissecting the guy's background, every aspect of him, because this couple is fascinating to me.